Good morning, my friends. Welcome back. It's Belinda here. I was watching Gayle. I normally watch her video every day when I can. I was recently inspired by a project she did with 6x6 papers, and so that's what we're going to do today. So I have my stack of 6x6 paper pads here. Oh, that one is not going to play. This is a textured one, not what we want to be using for this project. So I'll set that aside. I think I'm also going to pull out these ones. These are double-sided, quite thick, sort of more cardstocky. So put those aside, and we're kind of whittling down our choices here, which is all good. Right, let's see. This is just a partial, actually that's cardstock as well, so put that one aside. Let's start with this one, and let's see what we can use up. So 3 pieces that coordinate is basically what we're after. I love this one. I've used the other 2 sheets of that. I'm not going to use it on this project. I'm going to take a green and maybe a stripy. And do I want, there's another stripe. I don't think I want 2 stripes. Do I want the text or the plain pink? I think I'll go the text. Okay. Oh, there's not many left in that one. We're getting through that one. Right, I'll just pop these up the front for the moment, and I'm going to cut these in half. So they'll be 3 inches by 6 inches. Doesn't matter whether it's completely accurate. They don't need to be the same size, the 2 halves, but just approximately in half. And out of that we're going to get 2 pockets or tuck spots. So we'll take this one for a start. I'm assuming, which is never a good idea to assume, but I'm doing this as if you haven't watched Gayle's video. So if you have watched Gayle's video, then you'll know exactly what I'm doing. But for those who may not have, then we may as well do it like you haven't any idea what I'm doing. So I'm going to take top one and tear off a top part. Now which border do I want? Maybe the green in between. So taking the next one and starting a little bit higher. And tearing randomly down. Like so. So you've got these layers happening, and then the last one doing the same thing, but we're going to go from quite up near the top and tear not so much off, just a little bit like that. So we're left with this lovely layered look, which I think is super fun. Now I can't remember where Gayle said she got this idea from. If she did say, yeah, I just cannot remember. But what Gayle was doing was actually gluing them down so that each can become a pocket. And I'm going to do that same thing because why not? Doesn't mean you have to use it as a pocket. But you've got that option, and I think it would be super cute stacked up with different heights of tags in these pockets. They're not super wide pockets, they're only 3 inches, and then by the time you add the glue they're going to be, you know, maybe 2.5 at a rough estimate wide. So just narrow things, go down in them. Oh, and there's one step I forgot, and that was the distressing. So before that glue dries, let's get in there. You don't have to distress at all, but I like to. So I'm going to come in here and get that, and then just add a bit more glue because that glue would have dried now. So yes, if you want to distress, do it before you glue them together. And then I can easily do the second one. And the bottom one, of course, you can do after it's glued because it's got nothing behind it. And this is perfect for the white the one-sided papers, because you're not going to see the back. And then this one, I can distress that later, so I'll just glue it down. So really it's the first 2 layers that you need to distress before you glue it together. Otherwise it's just a lot more difficult. So I hope you're all having a fantastic week. I can't believe we're almost at the end of another week. It's just, they're going so quickly. Mind you, I was out all day yesterday, so that kind of shortens the week, and I'm out all day on Friday, and I've out, today is Wednesday as I'm recording this, and I'm out tonight for the community meal, helping at that, and then tomorrow night is home group and it's a potluck dinner, so I'll be out for that. So it's a very busy week on my calendar, very busy week. And then of course Friday I'll be visiting my mum, taking her to an appointment and some things like that, and then picking up my mother-in-law from the cancer house and taking her home on Friday night. So it's just like, it's a very full week, people, very full. Right, so we have a tall skinny pocket here, another tall skinny pocket there, and then you can have this as a tall skinny pocket, or we'll just grab this to pretend it's our page, or glue it here and here as a tuck spot, like so. Yeah, flip it over, it would actually be easier to see. Tuck spot. So if you just glued it 2 sides, you'd have a nice big tuck spot and could put something wider in there. So options, and I think they just look really cute, and then decorate up as you wish. So let's do this next one. I think I'll do a different order. I do like the text on top, but do we want to switch that around? I like having the green to kind of separate the pinks. Maybe we'll do the text at the back. Right, so I'm just going to tear this one, and I'm doing from the opposite way so I can have an opposite facing tuck spot or pocket, because otherwise they're all going to be the same direction, and you could easily put them, opposite pages in the signature. Would look really cute, even in the center of the signature if you haven't gone for a graphic spread. And then you can use these bits too. Yeah, and let's start a bit higher. And if you make a muck up and it goes in behind the front one, just tear the offending one down a little bit more until they're all showing, and you'll be good as gold. It's not set in stone until you glue it, and even then I'm sure you could do something to remedy an issue. Right, learning from my first one and making sure I distress them up first. I'm not going super heavy on the distressing. Right, glue. So I had not a fun night last night because I was out all day, and it's not that I don't think I drank enough. I know I did not drink enough during the day because I was in a training session for 3.5 hours or 3 hours, something like that, and I had a little bottle with me, a little bottle of apple juice, which I had opened a couple of weeks beforehand, and only had a couple of sips out of it. So I took that with me, and when I opened it to have a sip, it let out this big whoosh. It had fermented, so it was slightly alcoholic, just mildly. So I was sipping that during the course, conscious that it was slightly on the alcoholic side. And then I finished it off later in the day. It was only like a 250ml bottle. And then when I got back to my hubby's work after the training, I made myself a coffee. And by that stage, I'd had 3 coffees in the day, 3 coffees, the basically glass of fermented apple juice. What else had I had? And a small, like 300ml bottle of my Powerade Zero. And that was it. And normally I would have had the 3 coffees and like 4 or 5 cups of tea, plus my collagen drink, which is 300ml, and I forgot to have it yesterday, plus my little 300ml bottle of Powerade Zero. So I was really short on the fluids. So consequently, last night I was kept awake with 1, a headache, and 2, cramp. My leg and my foot kept threatening cramp and disturbing my sleep. So yes, not good. Need to hydrate properly, and yesterday I did not. It only really takes a day to sort of shake you out of your complacency and go, yeah, I need to make sure I am drinking enough. Because at home it's no problem, I'm drinking all the time. But I was short yesterday. And that's not including the evening drinks. So I had evening drinks once I was home, but as normal, but it was during the day that I was short. So these little bits you can turn into other little pockets or tucks on the front. Like you could put it like this and have another little tuck for a little ticket or piece of ephemera. The one thing that is difficult is if your paper is directional. So to put that, I mean, I guess you could put it sideways. You could put it upside down if you're going to cover it with something like, you know, a focal image where it takes away from the fact that it's upside down. But do bear in mind that that will affect what you do. But you can also stack these up in whatever order. Ink them, glue them together just as one piece. So not as little individual tucks. I would do them just as one piece. So let's do that. Just so you can see what I'm talking about. I am going to ink them individually though. Oh, pardon me, a little burp there. I don't think Gayle did this step of what I'm about to do, but she had lots of other things that she was doing with the 6x6, so I'm sure given another bit of time she probably would have got to this point, and she's probably done it before, just didn't do it in the particular video I was watching. Sorry, I seem to have some little burps at the moment from my cup of coffee. Right, so let's glue that down now. So I'm going to grab my glue stick for this. So yeah, has your week been busy? Or has it been nice and relaxed? I find that quite interesting how life kind of takes you in some cycles where you'll be just going along, everything's normal, and then something big happens, like, you know, your mum having a heart attack or your mother-in-law going through cancer treatment, you know, big stuff like that, or losing a cat. But, you know, you're kind of status quo for a while, and then all of a sudden you have the week like I'm having where it's like everything's happening at once, it's all busy, there's everything's stacked up, and you've got all these commitments and having to be away from home, because I'm 95% of the time of my time is at home, so it's very unusual for me to have so much going on, and I'm relishing it, but I'm also like conscious that it makes me tired. and takes away from my time of, you know, making journals and doing videos and all that sort of stuff. So it puts a bit of time pressure on me. And then kind of before you know it, you're back into the regular kind of, I will say ho-hum, not because it's necessarily boring, but because it's normal. You know, there's no surprises. You just one foot after the other going through life, doing what you would normally do. And you kind of forget to appreciate those times until something comes along and smacks you around the head. Be it a good smack or a bad smack, you know, it's whether it's a negative occurrence or a positive one, you know, it does kind of smack you around the head and go, hey, you're a bit complacent. We're going to mix things up a little bit. Yeah. My life has been a little bit mixed up right now. And I feel like it, for good and bad reasons, it has been like that for a good couple of months, I guess. Just trying to get the little fragments of paper off my gluey fingers. And so we can do the same with this one. So why don't we? And then I'll demonstrate them on a page. You probably know exactly where I'm headed with this, but if you're new, maybe not. Maybe you're like, well, that's kind of cute, but what do you do with it? Well, I will get to that. Are there any new people on my channel who are new to junk journaling and just kind of came across me? Say hi. I'd love to say hi back and to find out where you are at in your journaling journey, your junk journal making. Are you new to it? Are you an old hand at it? You've been doing it for years, or you're just kind of in between, still learning, would like more time perhaps to do it, because maybe you work or have commitments there. Get my words out, commitments with children or other family members or something. Right, so let's glue this one together. Yeah, I'd love to know where you're at in your junk journaling journey, because it is a journey. I don't think it matters how long you have been in the game, so to speak. There's always something new to learn or a new supply to experiment and play with, or a new channel to watch that inspires you, or just an idea that's been around for a while but which you can interpret in different ways, which keeps it really fresh and exciting. And you know, it's, oops, huge big gouge out of my glue there. That is so gross. What a mess. I got too carried away there. Gonna have to do some careful mop up on that. So I'll glue it down and then I will try and get rid of that glue off the front, because it's yucky. That was a big clump of glue. So just got a wet wipe and I'm just carefully trying to get it off without damaging the paper too much, because it's a very wet wipe. I only grabbed it out this morning because I was getting inky fingers. Right, I think that's as good as I can get it without risking pulling the paper with the moisture. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, where's my page gone? Okay, page. Pretend it's a journal page. So you can pop this up in the corner as a little, whoops, just let me, oh, look at the state of that glue. It's just disgusting. Right, glue it on here and here, so just these outside two edges, and then it's a little up tuck. And then you could partner it with the pocket or the tuck spot, whichever you decide to use it as. So you could have that on one side of the page and that on the other. Opposite corners, that's what I mean. I don't think that's what I said, but that's what I mean. Opposite corners. And so you could have something in here, and then, so it'd almost be layered. If I grab out something here to be like a journal card. Pop that in there. And then something else as like a little tag or something. I'm just looking around for something I can use. Maybe this tissue box strip. And that could tuck up there. So you kind of got this layering effect. So you would have to remove this first to remove that. Just based on my page size and my pieces of ephemera here, you could do it the other way around. You could have something tucked in underneath the journal card. Doesn't matter either way. And I think that's quite fun. It's very interactive to be, you know, to have to remove something to then get at the next bit, if you know what I mean. I think that's actually rather fun. So you could tuck that in under there and under there, and that would hold it nicely because it's held in two places. And then tuck your other item, be it a tag or whatever, in there. And you've also got then the aspect of discovery by removing and finding fun bits. So that's my kind of little springboard for that, these pockets or tuck spots. Or if you don't use it as a tuck, of course, then you're just going directly up with your ephemera. So maybe this is the right width. Actually, it would be. It'd make a cool tag in there. And then you would have your tuck with whatever else you put up there, like so. And it could be smaller, it could be a little ticket or something. Super cute. Lovely. And I love the way they work. So I've got two pairs here. You could also, I guess, kind of like do them. Could you do them like this? Actually, that's kind of sparking my brain going, what could one do with this? You could almost glue this down as a belly band. So have a belly band going this way, like so. That's kind of cute. I like that. And then have the top bit kind of separated. So you've got this like river through the middle, which you could decorate if you wanted to. But then you can hit, so this would be glued flat. Imagine that's flat. And then you could have a little journal card or tag or something tucked up there that sits over top. Ooh, I really, really, really like that idea. I really like that. Okay, I think what I want to do is I actually want to glue that down on this page so I remember. So I'm going to glue along the bottom. I love the junk journal community, one for the ideas, but two for the way it sparks your brain and you start going off on tangents. I had not planned this. It's different to what Gayle was doing, using her idea, but then taking it in a completely different direction. That's like, well, that's really cool and different and fun. Unexpected. Well, unexpected for me anyway. And I have not distressed this. But oh well, I think maybe I will end up putting this in my box of ideas as opposed to putting it in a journal. So the fact that it's not distressed, I'm not super worried. You could alternate the side, like you could use this one on top and still have your up tuck here, but it would just like almost like it's a gift box opening, you know, the lid's up on a gift box, and still have that tuck up under there. So either way gives you a different look. You could play on this gift box idea and have like a bow out the side here or something. That would be cute as well. Oh, the brain is firing. Possibilities, my friends. I find it just quite a ride when that happens. I get all excited. It's like, ooh, could do this. Or what about this? Ooh. The trick here, I guess, is kind of lining it up. So it's visually looks, you know, straight up and down. And they should all be the same width because we cut our paper in half, depending on how careful we were about making it in half. I love that. Love that. So, belly band, and maybe I'll grab another book page and just fold it into 3. This is just out of my glue pages. Just if I'm going to use it as an idea, I want to remember that this was actually a tuck up here. And not forgetting, we've also got these pockets here which we can still use. Is that going? Yep, that's going to fit up there. So that can hang down in there. And then if that comes out, then we've still got 2 pockets here because we glued the top one right down. And yeah, that's going to fit in there as well. And will it fit in there? Depends how wide I got the glue. Yep, that's going to fit in there. I love it when a unplanned plan comes together. That is so cute. I love that. So that's another idea, using the same principle. Right, shall we do some more? And also decorate them. I haven't talked really about decorating them, but decorate them with whatever you like. Do we want to decorate one? I feel like maybe we should. I'm not sure if I've got birds that will look good on this pink or not, but let's have a wee looky-see. Here's a little bird. Maybe we need something a bit taller. He's taller, but not sure if he's right. Not them. They're pretty, but I think I need something facing this way. Or what about this colourful bird? I think it's too bright. Too wide and too short. Have a wee dig. That one might be right, but yeah, it just doesn't look right to me facing that way because things slant this way, which means that that's the opening. They face one in each direction, but I think they're actually supposed to be more like that. So too wide. Oh, you're quite nice. You or you? Oh, I'm going back to that bird. Maybe I should stop and just go with that bird. Okay. Just pick these up, get them out of my way. And a bit of book page, I think. Is that the text I would like? Or do we want to go sort of more numbers? Just because we have already got text in the back there. So maybe the numbers might be the... Just looking at the words. One step at a time, believe in yourself, I love you. I think one step at a time is quite nice. So maybe we don't want to cover that up. Let's go like that. Try not to overthink things, my dear. Talking to myself. I was like, oh, maybe I want to layer something else. Do I really like that? Is it? But reality is, it looks fine. It, in fact, looks lovely. Why am I dithering over it? Just because that's my kind of jam, I guess. It's like, oh, there might be a better option. Maybe I should keep looking because there might just be something better. Yeah, that's probably why I don't get so much done in my videos. Because it's like, I know, it's just me. Right, I do want to cut out this little bit here in between the stick and the bird's leg. So it's just a wee triangle. My blade needs changing, I believe, so I'm being very, very careful. Oh, and I just was not. I broke the bird's leg. But it's all right. We'll glue it and it won't even show. Right, let's put this on. Oh, there's another bird running around. Let's put you back in the nest, aka the box. It's stuck to glue. Ugh, yuck. Gross. Okay, so there's glue on that, so let's fold it over so we don't stick anything else there. Big glump, whatever a glump is, of glue. Right, so I want it to come under where it says one step at a time. I don't want to cover that over. So we'll just take it right in under that. And then we've got Share the Love at the bottom, which is exposed, so that's quite nice. Do I want to distress Mr. Birdie? Or Miss Birdie, whichever. Maybe. I'm in two minds, so I'm just going to do it. Just a light brush around. So I don't necessarily want to make him dirty. But I think I do want to edge. Just need to be careful, just doing the leg off to the side since I did damage it when I was cutting out the space. Definitely not using glue stick on this because we've got a little broken leg down here and I'm likely to tear it completely off. Even if I did break it completely off, I could still glue it on and make it look as if it was intact. Funny. Right, just making sure that leg does stick down. We don't want it to catch on anything because it's not glued properly. Here we go, and you would never tell that that leg had been broken. Poor birdie. I'm just a good vet nurse of paper animals anyway. Right, maybe a label up here. Velcro is so loud, isn't it? How big a label? Don't want a huge label, I don't think. Maybe that. I want something that's more in the pink tones. A grand offer. Madame Rupert's face bleach. Ew. Why would you put bleach on your face? That's too long. Okay, so that rules out that entire set of those particular ones. And look, a while ago I had these out and I was like, during the video I was like, I need to remember to put those away at the end of the video. And then one of you lovely subbies, I'm sorry I can't remember who it was, reminded me, says, did you put your labels away? And I went and looked and I hadn't, and I still didn't. Here they are. So I'm going to put them away right now. because obviously I haven't, and I've had plenty of opportunities. How bizarre. Why didn't I do it when I went to check whether I had put them away or not? I must have got distracted by something. I was like, oh, there's another pretty. Let's do something with that. And then just left my labels still out. There's no helping some people. No, that's too long as well. Needs to be quite short. So maybe something like this is the right. Do I want round? No. Don't want that either. Okay, so this is from Shabby Cottage Studio, this label. And I'm going to go with it after all that. I really should have just gone, yep, that works, and left it at that. But, you know, half an hour later, we're looking at different options and going back to the original choice. That's so how it goes. I am just, I guess, kind of in that frame of mind too. I'm a bit tired after a disturbed sleep and a big day yesterday, and I'm working at trying to have even more fluids today to make up for yesterday's shortfall. And yeah, I'm just kind of in a fluffy mood, shall we say. A fluffy mood, whatever that means. Do need to stress around the edges. Do I need anything else on this? I don't think so. I think it's fine as is. Just very simply decorated. But I do love these, you know, multiple pocket ideas. Super fun. Okay, so we've got this one, and then we've got the one that I put on the page, and then we've got this little uptuck as well. So how are we going on time? We've got time to make another one or two. Let's go with this one since it was on top. So just looking at what papers. So it looks like there's quite a number of each design. I like this green sort of tartan pattern. Do we want to go with that? Yeah, let's go with that plainer one. And whoops, left the lid off my glue. Let me just fix that. Oh, quite hard to do one-handed. Stripes. That's the same tartan, so we definitely don't want two of that. Or a check. I like the dramatic nature of that actually. Or that's got feathers and pine cones and leaves and things on it. Quite subtle. Or there's a red and green tartan. I think this check one here. Okay, so none of these are directional, none of these three. So let's stack them up, give them a chop. Now you could make them wider if you wanted to. If you wanted to have a wider pocket and then just have a set of 3 narrow strips, what you could then turn into tags or altered paper clips or whatever. It would mean you would only get one pocket out of your 6x6, but it's certainly an option. But I think I'm just going to go with another pair the same, so 3 inches wide by 6 inches tall. Quite loud when you cut multiple pages. Right, which one round do we want? You can layer them the same, you know, if you're going to put them in different journals, it doesn't matter. But I think it's a really good opportunity to change the order because you're going to get a slightly different feel for each one. I'm going to actually start at the back one this time. I'm going to start with the shallow tier. I don't know which way is better. The way I did the first two is the way Gayle did it, by starting with the front one and working your way backwards. But I think either way would work. Although it's possibly easier to see if you do the front one first, yeah. So there is a reason for doing the front one first, because you can actually see what you're doing. So that's all right. It's worth an experiment. Yep, so yep, definitely a practical reason for starting at the front piece. But that's okay, we still got there. Right, let's ink up the top edges. It's not really going to show on that dark checked paper, but you're going to do it anyway because there's a little bit of white showing. Yeah, it does. You can vaguely see it on the dark pattern, but it certainly tones down the little white bits that are showing. Helps to incorporate those a bit more. Right, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put these down as possible pockets, because why not? And if you didn't want these pockets as deep as what they are, you could put a glue line part way and just make it a shallower pocket. That's totally an idea. Sorry, I did make this one slightly shallower because I put a glue up to about here, so it's not full depth, it's, you know, just a little bit shorter. Which was actually by accident. It's just like, oops, I got a bit carried away on the glue. Oh well, I'll just put glue all across there. As I was busy telling you, you could deliberately glue higher if you chose. You just wanted to make it shorter. So more options to tailor it to what you would like, or how you want to use it, or what you want to put in the pockets of your journal. Oh, I like those colours actually. They'd go really nice in a nature journal, or in a journal for a guy, or a vintage journal, or even a steampunk. You know, you put some cool cogs or whatever on there, it would look cool in a steampunk, or grungy. You know, use a darker ink and grunge it up, and that would be super cool as well. So right, this one, which way round? Do I want the dark on the front or dark in the middle? I think I'll go yeah, I'll go dark in the middle. Okay, so let's do our front one first, and I am tearing the same way as the other one because that was just what I started doing. I didn't think about it, and then it was like, oh, I'm tearing the same direction. So I'm also trying to vary the tears to make sure they're not kind of all the same. So there's a bit of up and down to it. And I am leaving a white edge on this, and that will hold the ink really nicely. You could also leave the white edge. I actually really like that look as well. I often will deliberately create the white edge. But in this case, I created the white edge because I wanted that ink to really show up nicely there. And the white gives it some texture too, because it's kind of fibrous when you get the white showing. So it just adds a little bit of subtle texture, especially when it's inked. It kind of sits on top, so you get some lighter areas and some darker areas. Okay, glue it together. You could also do the belly band idea by tearing it straight, you know, more or less straight across. You wouldn't need to necessarily do an angle, but just a fun sort of higgledy-piggledy straightish look. And then put the other one at the top with the separation, the little river in between. I think that would look quite good too. So this one I'm going to glue higher. I'm going to put glue across there. So my pocket's only going to be this deep as opposed to this deep on the front. Why? Just because I thought I may as well do one like that. Because you can't do that once you've glued it together. The pocket is the size that you made it originally. So you do have to do it when you're constructing it if you want a shorter pocket. I guess there's ways you could slide something with glue in, but you risk gluing your whole pocket together. So I would definitely do it at construction. So instead of going all the way down to the bottom, this one's only going that far. So there, instead of down to there. Okay. So just the different look they have by altering the order of the papers is quite fun as well. And then we've got our little bits here. Which, you know, I just think that looks really good partnered up. And different order of the papers. You could mix and match with the, you know, doesn't matter. You could use, if the bits you tore off here, you could use with this one or vice versa. It wouldn't matter, the order doesn't need to be the same, but they're the same papers, so they work together. But how fun, because these actually did come off this one. So that would be the same order of papers, but I actually like the different order. And you could mix and match, so like you could, you know, but then you could end up with two the same design and colour. So I think I'm going to call it quits there. So we did these two, we did this one, which we decorated up, and this little uptuck that can either go with it or it can go entirely on its own. It doesn't need to be on the same page, but it can be. And then our other little idea here using the same pieces is with our belly band down the bottom, two pockets on that, and then our tuck in above it. Oh, I do love that. I think that's super cute. That would need decorating, but this is an idea for my book, so I'm not going to decorate it. So there we go. There's my take on Gayle's inspiration. Super fun, really easy, simple project. And if you've got a stack of 6x6 papers just hanging around and you're not quite sure what to do with them, or you don't find yourself reaching for them and using them up, why not make some and have a stash on hand for your journals? Thanks for joining me, my friends. Have a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.